The biting December wind howled through the streets of San Francisco, cutting through Tom Wilson's threadbare jacket as if it wasn't even there. At 73, Tom had spent the last 5 years living on these unforgiving streets after losing everything to his wife's cancer treatment. Now, he huddled in his usual spot near Tesla headquarters, clutching a worn cardboard sign that read "Veteran." Any help appreciated. Most passers-by barely spared him a glance. Tech workers, dressed in sharp suits, rushed by with eyes glued to their phones. Tom didn't blame them. He'd grown used to being invisible. That morning began like any other, as Tom carefully sorted through the few possessions in his cart. But then, he noticed a sleek black car emitting smoke from under its hood just down the street. Curious, he squinted and recognized a frustrated figure pacing beside it. None other than Elon Musk. Elon, phone in hand, muttered under his breath, "No signal. Of all days." He ran his fingers through his hair in exasperation. Tom hesitated. Helping someone like Elon Musk, one of the world's richest men, seemed almost absurd given his own dire situation. But compassion outweighed doubt. Slowly, with stiff joints protesting every step, Tom shuffled over. "Excuse me, sir," he said softly, his voice raspy but kind. "I couldn't help but notice you're having car trouble. I used to be a mechanic in the Army. Maybe I could take a look." Elon turned to him, surprised. For a moment, Tom saw hesitation flicker in the billionaire's eyes, the kind of hesitation he was used to seeing when people noticed his homelessness. But Elon's expression softened. "That would be really helpful," Elon said, a faint smile breaking through his frustration. Tom set his cart aside and leaned over the hood, his gnarled fingers working with surprising precision despite his arthritis. The smell of oil and metal brought back memories of his younger days fixing military vehicles in Vietnam. After a quick inspection, he said, "Your cooling system's got a leak. I can patch it up temporarily. It'll get you where you need to go, but it won't last forever." Elon watched in silence as Tom improvised, using tools from his cart and repurposing whatever he could find. Minutes later, the car roared back to life. "That should hold," Tom said, stepping back and wiping his hands on his jacket. Elon looked at him, impressed. "You just saved my day." "Thank you," Tom shrugged, used to his acts of kindness going unnoticed. "Just doing what I can." But Elon wasn't done. Intrigued by Tom's skills and humility, he asked about his story. Reluctantly, Tom shared bits and pieces, his wife's illness, their mounting medical bills, how he ended up here. Elon listened intently, his expression turning thoughtful. What neither of them realized was that this chance encounter would soon change Tom's life forever. Using supplies from his cart, his own drinking water, and a piece of rubber he'd been saving for emergencies, Tom worked with the precision of a seasoned mechanic. His hands, though trembling slightly from arthritis, moved with a confidence that came from years of experience. After 20 minutes of focused effort, he wiped his hands on his worn jacket and stepped back. "Try it now," he called out. The engine roared to life. Elon Musk's expression shifted from frustration to astonishment. "That's impressive," he exclaimed, checking his watch. "You just saved me from missing a crucial meeting. How much do I owe you?" Tom shook his head. "Nothing, sir. Just glad I could help. My daddy always said, helping others is its own reward." Elon paused, studying the elderly man standing before him. Tom's shabby clothes and the cart holding his few possessions told a story of hardship, but his calm demeanor and unwavering kindness struck a chord. "At least let me give you something for your trouble," Elon insisted, reaching for his wallet. Tom raised a hand. "Really, it's fine," he said with a modest smile. "Just happy to feel useful again." He turned to shuffle back to his usual spot. "Wait," Elon called after him. "What's your name?" "Tom Wilson, sir." "Well, Tom Wilson. I don't believe in coincidences," Elon said thoughtfully. "Would you share your story with me?" Tom hesitated, then nodded. He recounted his life with quiet dignity, His service in Vietnam, decades as a mechanic, his wife Martha's battle with cancer, and the crushing medical bills that had taken everything from them. These things happen, Tom said with a shrug. You can't change the past. Elon was silent for a moment, then reached into his pocket and handed Tom a sleek business card. I'm late for a meeting, but I want you to go to this address tomorrow at 9 a.m. Ask for Sarah in HR. Tom stared at the card, unsure. I don't want charity, sir. It's not charity, Elon replied firmly. It's an opportunity, one you've earned. Will you come? Tom nodded slowly. Yes, sir. I will. That night, Tom barely slept. He clutched the business card, rereading it every few minutes to assure himself it wasn't a dream. At dawn, he used the last of his quarters to clean up in a public restroom and dressed in his least-worn clothes. At exactly 9 a.m., Tom arrived at Tesla headquarters. The gleaming glass building and sharply dressed employees made him feel out of place, but he held his head high. At the reception desk, he introduced himself and was immediately escorted to a bright office where a kind-faced woman greeted him. Mr. Wilson, we've been expecting you, she said with a smile. Mr. Musk told us about you yesterday. We have a proposition for you. Sarah explained the offer. Tesla wanted to hire him as a senior maintenance advisor for their classic vehicle division. His decades of hands-on experience would be invaluable in making Tesla's electric vehicles more accessible for traditional mechanics. We'll provide temporary housing while you get back on your feet, Sarah added. And your medical benefits will start immediately. Tom's hands trembled as he gripped the arms of his chair. Ma'am, I'm 73 years old. Most people think I'm too old to work. Sarah smiled gently. Mr. Musk believes wisdom and experience have no expiration date. He was impressed not just by your skills, but by your integrity. You helped him without expecting anything in return. That's the kind of person we want. Tears welled in Tom's eyes. My Martha always said everything happens for a reason, he whispered. I didn't believe her when I lost everything. But maybe she was right. That afternoon, Tom was shown to a small but clean studio apartment provided by Tesla. As he set down his card in the corner, he noticed an envelope on the table. Inside was a handwritten note. Tom, your kindness and skill helped me when you had every reason to turn away. Consider this a small repayment for the help you gave me yesterday. Elon. Below the note was a check that covered all of Martha's outstanding medical bills. Tom sank to his knees, overwhelmed. For the first time in 5 years, he allowed himself to cry, not from sadness, but from gratitude and hope. The next morning, Tom walked into Tesla headquarters wearing a clean new uniform. As he passed the spot where he used to sit with his cardboard sign, he paused and whispered, "Thank you, Martha." Over the weeks that followed, Tom's vast experience proved invaluable to Tesla. His insights helped the company design more repair-friendly vehicles, bridging the gap between traditional mechanics and advanced electric cars. His humility and eagerness to share his knowledge earned him respect among his colleagues, and his habit of keeping granola bars to share with homeless people on his way to work became well known. Everyone deserves kindness, he'd say with a gentle smile. Sometimes that's all it takes to change a life. I should know. Word of Tom's journey spread, inspiring Tesla employees and even sparking a company initiative to train and hire veterans and elderly workers facing hard times. When asked about his remarkable change in fortune, Tom would simply say, "The real blessing wasn't the job or the money. It was being reminded that I still had something to offer the world." Sometimes, we all need someone to believe in us to help us believe in ourselves again. Every year, on the anniversary of that fateful morning, Tom would return to his old spot near Tesla headquarters. But this time, instead of asking for help, he'd spend the day giving it, offering food, advice, and encouragement to those who were struggling. Tom Wilson, once a homeless veteran, became a living testament to the power of kindness, resilience, and second chances. His story proved that no matter how difficult life gets, a single act of compassion can ripple outward, transforming not just one life but many.